Today, State Attorney General Steve Marshall is asking the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to intervene after a federal court ruling. The federal court for the Middle District of Alabama made a ruling that partially bars the state's enforcement of not allowing abortions during the pandemic. This comes after abortion clinics sued the state for not allowing abortions under the current COVID-19 health order. The state says abortions are not a necessary procedure.